Hi, this is All the Science podcast that describes an interesting aspect of science in 5 minutes or less. I'm John, and I'm the guest podcaster for this episode, Buoyancy. What happens when you dive into the water? The answer is quite obvious. Your body will float. This is because the water is applying an upward force on your body. This example best explains the concept of buoyancy. Buoyant force, which is also known as the upthrust, is an upward force that is created by a fluid when an object is wholly or partly immersed in the fluid. The buoyant force is caused by differences in pressure acting on opposite sides of an object immersed in a static fluid. You will be familiar with the buoyant force if you have ever tried pushing a beach ball underwater. It is difficult to do because of the buoyant force that counteracts your applied force. For us to completely understand the buoyant force, we must first understand the law of buoyancy, Archimedes' principle. This principle was discovered by the ancient Greek mathematician and inventor Archimedes while he was stepping into a tub at the public bath. He noticed two things. First, that the water overflowed in accordance with the depth of its immersion, and second, that his body appeared to weigh less the deeper it was submerged. This discovery, if we are to believe the legend, Archimedes rushed off down the streets of Syracuse, presumably naked and wet, shouting, "Eureka!" which means, "I have found it." Archimedes' principle states that any object fully or partially immersed in a fluid will experience an upward force equal to the weight of the displaced fluid. In other words, the buoyant force will support an object if it is less dense than the fluid, because the weight of the object will be less than the weight of an equal volume of the fluid. This is why a cruise ship floats on the ocean. Steel is very dense, but the air in all the cabins is not. So overall, the ship is less dense than the water. Another interesting fact about buoyancy is that when an object is placed inside a fluid, the fluid pressure increases with depth. As the object goes deeper to the bottom, the force from pressure exerted downward on the top of the object will be less than the force from pressure exerted upward on the bottom. This explains why it is harder for us to go deeper into the water. Thanks for listening to All This Science. Contact us at allthisscience@gmail.com if you'd like.